Why does your music sound amateur? How do you make your music sound professional? Let's talk about this. Because I was in your shoe years ago. I started making music. I fell in love with making music and then started making music. And halfway, a few months later, I realized that my songs don't sound like the ones on the radio. And I couldn't figure out why. Then I started doing research and boom, it hit me. The reason why my music didn't sound like the one I hear on the radio is because the mixing quality is different. Then, once I figured out the mixing, I started trying to learn how to mix. And I realized my mix sounds muddy. The quality is bad compared to what I hear on the radio. And I was like, how do you get your mix to sound like the ones on the record label, the major label record artists? And I'm like, is it mixing or is it mastering? Then I kept digging down into the hole. Then I started learning balancing. I started learning EQing, compression, and I started watching YouTube tutorials, going into forum, snapshots, screenshot, and everything. And it helped me for a little bit, but it also confused me the more. The more I learned, the more I got confused. And I could not figure out how to put everything I'm learning together to actually get me to where I want to go. It was frustrating. I was just going in circles, just learning and learning, practicing, learning, practicing, and it didn't help. Until something happened. Boom. Then I stopped learning and doing all the learning on the YouTube, and I started doing what? I took songs that were on the radio that I loved their mixes, and I started dissecting and studying those. And I did that for about 2 years, and information that I learned from those mixes, I put it into practice. And after I did that, I wrote down 14 things that I learned from those, and it became a system that I call the mix build system. 6 essential mixing skills plus 8 mindset, because you can learn the skills, but also you need to understand why things are happening, the mindset. So I wrote this down and I put them together in a video. It's on my website. Go get it. But the story is not over yet. After I did that, I told myself, I bet people out there would love to have their hands in this and use it to better their mixes and stuff. So I'm like, okay, it worked for me. Will it work for other people? Let's put it to the test. So I put a gig on Fiverr, and I started getting students, and I started teaching a bunch of students. And I'll put their pictures on the screen so you can see. I started teaching a bunch of students, and they started getting results from it. And Brian is one of them. His mixes started getting better to the point. In one of my class with him, his producer friend said, I know your mix is crappy just like me, and all of a sudden your mix is sounding good. Where are you learning this from? He's like, oh man, I told you I met this Grammy nominated producer on Fiverr, blah blah blah. So it hit me up that can my friend come to the class? I said, yeah, sure, bring him over. And he came to the class, and I gave him some tips and stuff. It was exciting. So anyway, there were other students besides Brian, a bunch of them on the website. On my video, I've shown their testimony. So I did them like, okay, this is working for people. So I created the course and I put it on the website. But the next phase of the story was after I did that, I've been mixing with the mix build system for a while. Then I started doing more studying. I realized, okay, now I got my mix to sound good, but to get to the next level, to be able to compete with the loudness that's out there. And I hear people talking about getting loud, like especially the EDM. genre, they were hitting as loud as -4, -6. I'm like, okay. So I went back to the lab. I cook up some more stuff, blah, blah, do some more audio research. I came out with another system called the Klapper system. CLAPER. And I just realized that it got CL in it. Chris Lord RG, one of the greatest mixer ever. So I created the CLAPER, the Klapper system. And the Klapper system has built in all the research that I learned from the mix bill, plus the Klapper system. So I use that to create presets inside Wave Studio Rack. Eventually, I will probably move this into a plugin on its own as soon as I get a audio developer that can help me out. If you're an audio developer, reach out to me. Let's partner it up or something. So I put all that inside Wave Studio Rack, and I created like 50 of those, but I'm only going to be giving away 25 to only 100 people that buy the Mixbill course. The first 100 people will be the one getting, because I feel this is too powerful to just have around the world and everybody just have access to it. It would be too crazy. And this is my baby research. I want to give to a selected few, the action takers, the people that are actually serious about their music production quality, and they want to take this as a profession, not just anybody who just want to buy, just not even use it, I don't want that. So I'm only going to be giving 100 people 25 of my mixing template of the Klapper, and inside that, what you get is I put all my chains with all the Klapper system and the Mixbill system of how to get lead vocal sound, vocal backgrounds, kick, snare, drums, bass master chain, music master chain, synth bass, 808, mix bus master, a whole bunch of crazy stuff in there that you get, and all this already made chains that once you put it on, boom, it sounds good. And I'll put a video in there on how to I do the gain staging, so everything, all the signal chain and everything is good. So go to my website, go check it out. Bowman Solomon, Make Better Sound record.